Morning guys, Rob from Expedition Team Overland here with another install, and here we got the GP Factor LP liquid propane tank mount. It's going to be going right up here on the Alu-Cab bracket, and so let's get this opened and installed. It's a brand new design that AJ just did. I'm really looking forward to it because it tilts down and it holds the tank a little bit more secure, I think, from what I've seen. Really looking forward to getting this on the Jeep for my big trip coming up in the next couple weeks. So let's get the install going. Alright guys, first impressions here with the liquid propane tank holder is, as always with GP Factor, really great design. The one thing I really like about this is that the front door opens and then tilts down. For me, this is really secure. The tank's not going to fall out with the door type size. Those work really well. I've never had a problem with them. They don't fall out. But I always feared that once I open up that door, that the tank's just going to fall and hit me in the head. This one, the tank can only fall, 45 degrees or 35 degrees, whatever it is. Can't really come and hit you that hard. It won't hit you at all. It won't fall out. So really great design for this. And look forward to getting this up on the Jeep. So with the bracket, you obviously get all your hardware. You get a sticker with a bunch of hardware, and he has two latches here. So let's get this mounted up. All right, so here we are on the driver's side Alu-Cab bracket. We have the 8 bolts that hold it on. So we got to remove these 8 bolts. I'm mounting it on this side because this is where the LP quick release for the heater is installed. So that's why it's being put on this on the driver's side. So let's get this mounted up. Alright, so now we have to assemble the latching mechanism here. So it comes with the latch, this little 3D printed spacer that is the same size as the back of the latch. 2 long screws that are 1/8 Allen key. You come with 2 smaller ones that are the same size, 1/8. These are for the lock part of the latch, and then you get 4 lock washers that are 3/8 inch. So what I'm doing here is first open the latch up, and you kind of have to thread the longer bolts through. Kind of thread it through the plastic a little bit to get started. And there's a bunch of different holes that you can mount these to. He has 2 rows of 6 on each side. I'm just going 2 down. That is what's in the picture on GP Factor's website. That is where I'm lining these up at. It's easier to start this to pre-thread these. Just makes it a little bit easier. So once you get those in, I'm going actually going the two open holes down is what I'm using, and push them into the. There's just a little bit of extra powder coat. You gotta kind of push it through. You might have to screw it through the powder coat a little bit. There we go. Yep, just screwed it through the powder coat here. Get started. Same thing with this bottom one. Okay, so then I'm going to take the 2 bolts on the back, kind of just hold them on there with my hand at first to get them started. And then I will put the wrench on the back to hold it. They are locked washers, locked nuts with the plastic on there so it won't come loose. You don't have much thread to work with, so you only have to go a couple turns. Here. Unfortunately, just to get the torque, doing like a quarter turn each here, and that's in. So now we have to do the lock, which is the same thing. I went on the outside, 2 down. So you have to do the same thing. These are using the smaller bolts. Put the Allen key on it. And once again, you gotta thread it through the powder coat. Put the nut on the back. Because you don't have the locking mechanism in the way, you kind of can spin this around 360 degrees to tighten. Oh, there's one. Alright, so we are all set. Latches up and hold it. Now you can put a lock on here if you want. That's optional. I'll probably put a small lock on there just so someone doesn't steal my propane tank. So now let's get this up on the Jeep. Alright, so now I have the panel off of the Jeep, and now we're going to mount it. I decided to go get new hardware at the hardware store. Before they were using Allen key button bolts for us, and I'm just really good at stripping bolts and stuff like that. So I went out and just got new regular bolts to bolt these into the side of the Alu-Cab, and then also new bolts to mount the LP tank to this bracket. So that's what I'm using. So now there is a bunch of holes on the back side that work for various applications. So I'm just going to line up, make sure that I got four of these bolts all line up. Maybe a little bit, and there we go, got them. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Get these in. Now what I did do is I also got the lock washers, the lock nuts on these, and they're all stainless steel, just because this is on the back of the Jeep and it is a high corrosion area with all the salt and stuff that we love to put on our roads in the winter times. Why we can't have nice things here in the Midwest and Northeast for the winter times. Not like what's in Arizona and all that type of stuff where you have the beautiful weather. So let's get this bolted down. Alright, now it's all mounted up, so let's go mount it back to the Jeep. Alright guys, so we finally got it installed. I had to adjust the lock right here. I think every tank's going to be a little bit different. You know, it's also a little warmer, so this tank might have been expanding a little bit. But I did have to. So I'm on the inner close holes on this side. There's 2 sets of holes, so I did have to adjust that. Works really well. So you just unlatch it both sides, pull it down, that pulls out and down, and then you pull the tank out. So super nice and easy. Works really well. Close it up. Get both the hooks in, and it locks up, no problem. This ain't going anywhere. I put those 4 bolts on the back. I did swap out all these the bolts here. The Alu-Cab bolts are Torx head. I just put 13mm bolts. I am the absolute king of cross-threading, stripping, and over-torquing those types of bolts. So it's just easier to put a 13mm bolt on there for it. So fantastic. I'm really looking forward to getting this out on the trail. It's going to be easier to move it around, to use the shower, to run the scuttle, run the fire pit. Not worrying about it falling on my head. So looking forward to using this out on the trail. So I'm going to leave all the information down below, the link to AJ's website for where you can buy this. So catch you guys on the trail.